welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to be talking about and reviewing the new Jaclyn Hill highlighters. I know this has come out for quite a while now and I'm kind of a little backed up filming this, but we're going to be talking all about this and we're going to be swatching it on my skin and you guys can see how everything looks on my skin tone. And let me just say, if you hear that like banging noise, I'm really sorry, but my neighbor is doing construction. We are doing construction in front of our home, so it's kind of a bit of a chaotic situation trying to film a video with no noise. But enough of that, let's just jump right into the video. So the two things that I did buy from Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics is the accent palette as well as one of her loose highlighters. I did also purchase one of the brushes that come with the loose highlighters, or supposedly you're supposed to use with those highlighters specifically. But let me just give you guys prices. So the accent palette, the one that I bought is the Flash palette, and this is the lightest of the lighter palette that she has of the two. And the reason why I did buy this is because I felt like the darker palette was going to be way too dark for me, and I felt like there were maybe only one shade within that entire palette that I probably would have been able to use for my skin tone. And I felt like these colors I would have been able, I'm actually able to use all of these colors on my skin without it looking too crazy. I just have to be a little bit careful. And these palettes do retail for $49. Let me just swatch all four of these so you guys can see. My hands are completely clean, so I am not cheating here. And then one more. So these are what the colors do look like. I wonder if I can swatch it here if you guys will be able to see. I know these lights are a little annoying, so it makes it a little difficult to kind of see the actual color and the undertones, but the pigment is so there. I mean, it's just like the video, you can't deny it. It is what it is. I don't have any type of highlight or anything on my face, including inner corner highlight and brow bone highlight, because I wanted to do this with you guys here. So let me pick up a brush. This is one of my favorite brushes for highlighter. This is the Milani highlighter brush. It's really similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter brush that everyone raves about. So I think for me, I'm going to go into this shade right here, if you guys can see it, which is Icy. And a lot of products do come up on the brush, so I just kind of like to tap this off as much as I can. And then let's just pop this right on my cheekbones. I also love to bring my highlight up on top of my brows. Do the other side. Like, I've used these highlighters already and I will say they are very pigmented. Like, if you want that wet looking type of highlight, these are the highlights that you definitely should buy. I will say from my experience using them, if you do have texture on your face, this is going to emphasize your texture. And it's not because the formula is chunky or anything like that. It's just because it's so pigmented and it's so blinding that it's kind of hard for any formula like that to not emphasize texture, if that makes any sense. But I will say the formula of this is super duper smooth. Like, I don't feel like I have chunky glitter all over my face or anything like that. And the color Ice is really beautiful on our skin tone. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Let me swatch it. It's kind of like that perfect pearly with a little bit hint of gold, but it has pink in it, but it doesn't look like a stripe of pink on your face, especially our skin tone if you are a brown color girl. So this is what that looks like, and I use a light hand. If you want to go in with a heavy hand, you totally can, but because I do have a little bit of texture going on at the moment, I'm just going in with a lighter hand. So the other highlighter that I did buy was one of her loose highlighters. These are called the Beamy Light Duo Loose Highlighter, and I did buy the duo, so it comes with the brush that is, you know, I guess catered to the specific formula. This is the J03. The reason why I bought this brush is because it's kind of like that perfect shape for my nose highlights. And you guys know, if you guys have been watching me, I love a good nose highlight. So the duo itself was $39. If you bought it separately, the loose highlighter is $24 and the brush separately is $20. So it just makes sense for me to kind of buy it in a duo. The color that I did get is in the shade Bomb. And I do like the packaging. I love the fact that the sifter and the kind of top of the highlighter, it's kind of deep and it has a good amount of kind of depth, I should say, because whatever loose highlighter is in here, I don't feel like when I'm opening this up, the highlighter is going to be getting everywhere and all over my desk or anything like that. But what I will say, these highlighters are insane. So I literally just put a little bit here on my cap. But let me just quickly swatch this for you guys so you can see what the color Balm looks like. It's definitely a beautiful gold highlighter. Let me take a little bit more. Oh my god, I'm the worst at swatching, I swear to god. But it is a beautiful like rose gold type of highlighter. It's more on like the gold side than rosy, so that's why I did buy it. So just taking a little bit of this on this brush, and I am tapping off the excess, because when I say these loose highlighters are like intense, like they are intense. So I'm gonna pop this on my nose. You can kind of already see, like, it's everything that I want my nose highlighter to be, but I have to be careful when I'm putting it on my face, because let me tell you, it will emphasize your texture crazy if you do have. You can see what I mean. Like, I love the brush and the shape of the brush because it really gets that straight line down my nose. If you love a good nose, highlighter, it does that perfectly for you. I'm going to take a little bit more of this highlighter and pop this on my Cupid's bow here as well. Again, the brush shape is perfect for the Cupid's bow highlighter. But I'm going to take a little bit more since we're here. We're going to put a little bit here just on the very tops of my cheekbone. Like, you see, like, it is so intense, but it is so intense in a good way. But again, you just have to be very, very careful. What I am going to do is take a little brush and go in with my brow bone highlight as well as my inner corner. Tap off the excess when you are using any of her highlights. Please do so. And we're just going to pop this right on this brow bone. These highlighters are absolutely beautiful. If you're not the type of person where you don't like a crazy highlight, I don't think these are for you. But if you are, where you like to look super duper wet and super glowy, girl, buy these. What I'm also going to do is take a little bit of this. I'm going back in with the same loose highlighter in the shade Balm. And I'm not wetting my brush or anything here. And we're popping this in my inner corner. Like, do you see that? It's so insane how pigmented this is. And also, just from my experience from using loose highlighters have a tendency to kind of fade a little bit faster on your face than like a regular highlight. Sorry, I just have a little bit of fallout here, so I'm just kind of wiping this away. But like I was saying, loose highlighters do have a tendency to fade a little bit faster than if you were to use like a highlighter that is like in a compact or kind of pressed like that. But I don't find that with these loose highlighters. Like, I feel like they do last really well on my skin, so I don't really have that issue. Now you can see for yourself from the video, from me applying it with you guys, it is a super intense highlighter. I am going to go in with a little bit of setting spray just to kind of make sure everything is nice and synced into my skin and it doesn't look like a stripe. I'm going to go in with my Ofra Cosmetics Makeup Fixer. This is such a bomb setting spray and it's so like heavy duty and you get a lot of product in here. But I mean, not that this is the point of the video, but just letting you know, if you're interested in a good setting spray, try the one from Ofra Cosmetics. So I'm just going to pop this all over. And it smells really good. So I know this was a really quick video, but I really want to get this up for you guys so you can tell whether or not it's worth buying for you, especially what palette and what color looks great on our skin tone. So just kind of my overall review. if I would say if it's worth buying, I personally will say yes. And I will only say yes because I'm the type of person where I love super intense, glowy, wet looking highlights. If you are not that kind of person, if you want something subtle, do not buy these. I personally will say don't buy them because they are almost a little overwhelming because of how pigmented they are, and I'm not sure if that makes any sense, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just a matter of you have to be careful with these highlighters because of how intense and pigmented they are, essentially. The only other thing I will say that I don't necessarily like is kind of the packaging. Like, I love how luxurious and heavy they do feel, but the packaging is quite bulky, and me kind of like trying to store it within my collection, I find it really, really difficult. Like, this is super duper bulky, and I feel like it didn't need to be this big, but quite honestly, that's just me being really, really picky and nitpicking at this point. But I don't think that's a point, that's something to kind of like deter you from wanting to buy these palettes. But I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other questions or any other comments that you want to let me know, just comment down below and I will definitely be answering them and looking at my comments. But thank you always so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Wouldn't it be funny if I had a lipstick on my teeth the entire video? That would have been horrible.
Sometimes I think that you not even upset. One day me no even talking to you, next day watch me call you.